Alright, so you guys are starting right now. Good. Alright, Gene, how have you been?
Hey, good. Busy, busy.
Yeah.
Are we live already?
Yeah, we're live already.
Oh, I missed that part. Hi, everybody.
It's alright, it's alright. I do hear a couple of pings from your end. Think it was your microphone again?
Yeah, the headset.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
It does that sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Alright. So guys, yeah, like I said, I've had a total of 46 questions received. Jimmy, I can't respond um to whispers right now, buddy. I've got too many screens going on at the moment. Quickly, you wanted the spin plus. Then you put in spinning plus, Jimmy, and I'll remove you from the regular spinning. Alright, guys, but for all of you, please do not send me any whispers. My screen is going crazy at the moment with all the images up, and I'm still battling a bloody fish. So yeah, I had a total of 46 questions, something like that. So
Ouch.
yeah, I've already picked out the ones that were related to bugs. I'll just send them to you after the stream, so we do not have to deal with that tonight.
Alright, sounds good.
Yeah, and some of the questions were overlapping other questions. And some of them are already sent forward to you as well, and we had a little talk about it. I think one of the first things one of the things that was mentioned the most was how does marketing work? Could you please explain it once more how the system currently works? Because that seems to be a bit vague for folks.
Which part? You mean selling the fish
Yeah,
or buying the
selling.
gear?
Yeah, well, it's a bit related with everything. I think first off, selling the fish. I think that will be the first question.
Well, it's simple. The more you catch, the more you sell, the lesser price you're gonna get for it.
And
Hello?
yeah,
Am I back?
yeah,
Am I
you're back.
back? Okay, then you have to switch between fish, or you have to move to another water body, get a little rest, and you can go back catching that species. And also, within some period of time, it's just gonna reset by itself.
Yeah, and does it just affect one player, or is it like, say, five players are catching a whole lot of crucian carp? They're all gonna sell the crucian carp, so that means that for everyone the price is going lower.
It's both ways. The more you catch will reflect you more. The more you catch and the more you sell, like percentage wise. And
Yeah.
also the general situation with the species will affect you, not as much as your own doing.
Oh, right. So, but what others catch does affect it in a lesser function, is what you say.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then to the repairing part, I know that you know as well that, for instance, KP Shimino that vid about it that he didn't, he seemed to not fully understand, and you shared some info with me that I also wasn't aware about. Could you tell us how the repair system works? Because now folks see like, oh, only got 2% damage on, say, my spool, but I already got to pay like 6.5 silver for it, while the spool itself is only 9 silvers.
Oh, you don't need to fix, first of all your gear, all the parts every time. Basically, most of the times what you need to do is oil it and make sure your mechanism is fully fixed or whatever, pretty close to it. But whenever you see something being extremely expensive, first of all, check other water bodies, the shops there. It might be twice as cheaper at another place. That's first off. And secondly, you should probably wait a little longer, use that rod. You don't need to start fixing it when you're like 1 or 2% down on the rod. give it like 30%, 20, 25, and the price, it's not gonna multiply by itself, right?
Yeah.
Let's say if you have 1%, right? It costs you 10 silver. It doesn't mean that at 50% it's gonna cost you 500 silver.
Yeah.
It's basically there are like windows for one price. There's a certain window of how do you call it? What's the word that I'm looking for? Lady, help me out here, please.
It's not like you're selling
So
it at a fixed price, and so having it to repair at one repair shop
let's
might be
yeah,
cheaper than at
let's
the
say
other one.
between 1% and let's say 20%, there's going to be a same price to fix it.
Yeah, and it's not like adding up what you say. Like a 1% is going to
No,
cost
no,
you 5, and so then 10% is going to cost you 50.
no, it's not. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
So
Um.
don't be afraid to use your tackle. Don't be afraid to use your gear. Don't be afraid to get it used, right?
Mhm.
And then at some point, when you start feeling uncomfortable with it already, let's say you can't fish with it anymore for a bigger species or something like that. Okay, go fix it. Also, you don't need to fix everything at the same time. Once again, if you oil your spool constantly, you keep it oiled. If you keep your mechanism in good shape, your reel is gonna work for much longer.
Yeah. And to fix it all at once, you only have to fix the mechanism part. Was that correct?
No, you
Or
to
you do
fix it
have to
all, you
fix
fix
it
it all.
all. Yeah, because when we
Yeah, but you
select
don't
it
have
here,
to.
when we select it all,
That's my
then the
point.
price. Sorry, go ahead.
I think we're breaking up a little there. Uh, uh, yeah, what was I saying? Where were we?
That if you fix it all, then obviously the price is going to be much more higher than if you fix
Abs
one part.
Absolutely, of
Yeah,
course. But you don't need to fix everything all the time. That's the point that I'm trying to get to. You just need to upkeep your gear, right?
yeah,
And the better you upkeep your gear, the less times you're gonna have to fix, like make big fixes, do big fixes.
yeah. So I'll quickly run to the shop so folks can actually see it. We finally landed that little under a kilogram tench that we're gonna keep. Awesome. So then folks can see it straight up. Let's see, it's all catchy. Okay, some mostly of it is how many of the fish that we still, but there is a small effect of the other place. Yes, catchy, that is correct. And can I set to repair rod and go to a different lake whilst repairing? Yes, Jimmy, you can, but if you want to pick it up again, you have to go to the original lake where you left it. Avoid strip clubs. English version, that will be somewhere between end of August and end of September, roughly. Ketchy asks now also, so then some reels are throwaway reels, like the first spinning reel, that's like 9.5 silver, and even at a starting level of repair, it costs like 3 times the cost of the reel itself. Is it then, wouldn't it be better to just throw it away and get yourself a new one instead of spending like 19 or 20 silver to it? Gene?
You don't, once again, if you're looking at it, look, you don't need to fix everything. You have to keep the. Do you have that reel by any chance?
Yeah, I think I do. I've got it over here. Yes, this is the one. So, guys, I'm currently here at the shop, at the repair shop. I'm clicking on the reel, and here you can see. So the damage on this one is 7.2%, and that's only 89. Here is 7.2, 2%, sorry, on, I think these are the outer rings, or the mechanism.
That's
And
a friction brake rings.
yeah, and that one is already 4.75, while this reel in itself is only like 950. If I were to fix this one, combined with the oil, then I'm almost
Oh,
already on the price of what this actually cost me to get new in the shop.
exactly. Don't fix it. Fix mechanism, the top left,
This one.
and no, the wheel with teeth, where it says yes, this one,
Yeah.
and the bottom right, the oil.
So that one with that one.
Don't No, these don't touch.
Yeah, those are the
Just
same toss.
top left and bottom, yeah, and this one.
Yeah. All
That's it.
right. So just these
And
two
keep and
things.
and keep on doing these things, nothing more.
Okay.
And this reel will work for God knows how long for you.
Okay. Yeah. So here you guys can
Uh,
see my damage on the mechanic is 7.2%. My oil is 8%. And the prices of these two combined, I've selected them both. You can do it with pressing shift, you can select all, but with control you can select separate stuff. It's gonna cost you 3.63, so that's 1/3 of the reel itself. Price wise, and I'll have to wait 12 hours before I can get it back. Okay, and if you guys have any more questions about repairs, because otherwise we'll move on. Just waiting a bit on the guys because we've got 20-second delay here. You want to play it now, avoid strips? Yeah. And yes, by the way, guys, those of you who do not have the game yet, by all means, you can join in the giveaway. But I will kindly ask you to provide me with your in-game in-game name, sorry, if you are the lucky winner. And do it before tomorrow. Before tomorrow evening. Otherwise, it's better to gift it to someone who has already the game and who is playing it. Jimmy asks, can you log out while in repair? Yes, Jimmy, you can, but the repair is gonna last for in-game hours. So you do need to be in-game for the time that it takes. Yes, Christian, giveaway did start indeed. Sleepy, could you hit that exclamation mark giveaway? All right. So to recap it quickly, I sell my fish. Good grief, I'm running around like a headless chicken. To recap it quickly, repairs is not like it's stacking up. The price is 2% is like 5 silver, so 4% is like 10. No, say between 2 and 10 is 5 silver. And you do not have to keep everything repaired. You can, no Brandino, only one package, mate. One package. Alright, moving on. Yeah, we discussed this last Q&A as well, but I think, I know folks still still want more confirmation on it. So the baits, they run out of stock a lot. Certain type of baits, say cheese. And could you explain why that is, that it is running currently out of stock? Could you also explain that it has to do with how the economy is set up? Because I think they do not know that. And can you let them know if there is any looking forward to, say, short-term fix or anything that might help rebalance it?
Well, there's I'll start from the bottom. There is an extremely easy way to fix it. To take the eel out of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the tench, because most folks here, the complaints that I've heard the most is not so much the eel, it's the cheese, preventing folks from getting the tench.
Yeah, but tench, you can get tench for tons of other different baits.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, yes, cheese is pretty good one also, but I find it more comfortable to use maggots for tench. First of all, the weighing group is wider, and plus you also get Prussian carp, big ones on those, the silver and gold ones. Uh, so people just need to start using other baits. They're like what, I don't know, 200-300 different baits in the store. Gotta use them up. Technically, why it happens? Because as soon as it arrives in one of the stores or two of the stores, people just buy them all in thousands. I've seen one of the videos. A guy was shooting a video of him playing. He walked into the store and there was whatever cheese and that the worm. He bought 5,000 of each.
yeah,
Right there and then. Now, what can you possibly do with 5,000 of each? Nothing. It'll be sitting in his backpack forever. But the general idea why this actually is in game, that things can run out, because it's the whole commerce is based on a lot of different things that actually are not in game yet. Auctions, trades, exchanges, and stuff like that. So once everything will be introduced into the game, I think things are gonna get easier.
yeah. But wouldn't it be a good idea then that for temporary to sort of short-term fix it, to say put a limit to how much folks can purchase of one type of bait? Because like what Jimmy says is, since last Q&A, cheese has been out of stock constantly in the past 2 weeks on the lower level lakes. And it's only at level 20 lake that cheese will still be available, but all the other lakes it's not available.
It'll pass. Just right now, everybody knows that let's say the most experience you can get, let's say with eel and tench, right? But people start to fish for other species. They'll start doing other things in game, and this will pass. This problem, it's just gonna solve itself out.
Yeah, but that will only then happen when new features arrive as well. Not just now folks indeed moving on to different type of baits because they're somewhat forced to do it because there are none, but also with the arrival of say auctions and stuff like that. But until then, we'll just have to deal with it. That's basically what you're saying,
Yeah,
right?
unfortunately, we're definitely not gonna put any limits on how much you can purchase. We're not in 70s Soviet Union. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah, yeah. And iPad now asks, what is the bait restock time? Are there any fixed times when
It's not
beats?
fixed. It's not fixed. There is no certain timelines or exact schedule, nothing like that.
Yeah, and the shops restock at different times, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah, so the shop in Mosquito has different restocking than the shop at say for instance in the old jail and stuff like that.
I love the translation of that water body.
Oh, it's
Yes,
not old jail?
they do have.
Am I screwing it up again?
No, it's all right.
And the fourth map, old jail or old prison. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I know I'm looking like a complete goof now, but please do correct me because I do want to have it correct.
Yeah, let me just in case double check what it stands for. uh,
I'll ask it in a second, Christian.
You pretty close, but it's not jail because jails they tend to keep people in. A strog actually is thing that keeps people out. So it's like a smaller version of a castle.
Ah, all right, all right. So, old fortage then, old
Yeah,
fort.
something like
Yeah.
a fort or yeah, something like that. So
Sorry,
every
guys.
time you say I watch videos or streams, every
Yeah.
time you say prison, I'm like ah.
You could have given me a heads up earlier. I swear, you
Now we
just
wouldn't laugh
like,
it out.
yeah, you just like to make fun
It's
of me
fun.
in my own stream. Thanks, mate. All right, Christian, I will ask you a question later on because that is also something that um, is coming up. No, actually, we can do it right up because I got a couple of more questions. I think about gear. Christian asks, will there be an indicator of how much line that will have at some point? How much line you've got out at some point?
Yes, I believe we spoke about it last time,
Oh
right?
yes,
So
yeah, we
in
did. Yeah.
one way or the other, there will be a way to know where your lure is, where your bait is, how far, and stuff like that. Because we will be introducing all those navigational things. It might be within them, maybe some other way. Right now, there's a baitcaster reel that you can use
Yeah, there
that
was
has the
indeed.
count.
Yeah, yeah, there was indeed one bait casting reel that showed how much line you had out. Not sure which one at the moment. That was what you said last time, indeed. Yeah. Tempe Games asks, is it possible to make another entry in the back of the fort on the fourth lake? So I think
Uh,
right
it
here.
is a fort.
Yeah, so
The
just
the,
have a small
the
entry.
extra entry gives your enemy an extra entry, right?
Yeah. By the way,
So
sorry. What
yeah.
Sleepy says, if you ask a question, could you please tag me in it? So for me, it highlights up, and I know which questions you guys are saying because it's hard for me to keep up with chat. Otherwise, all right. Let me quickly scoot over the entire list of stuff. Skill trees. Will there be more skill trees added in the future?
Yes, definitely.
What type
More
of?
skill trees. Uh, we'll be adding more stuff for a player to do in game, and well, same idea. You'll be better if you build through the skills.
Yeah.
So yes,
All right.
and there's a pretty high chance that we'll be changing something in these trees. We'll see how what works, what doesn't, what people like, what people don't use at all. Then it needs to be changed, right?
Yeah. All right. Then a very specific question about Bolognese rods and match rods. So Bolognese, we unlock it at, what was it, 35%, if I'm correct, on float fishing. The skills transfer themselves from here into this one. Oh, actually, chat is over it. My apologies for that. Quickly
Let me see. Okay,
turn it off for
where
a
are you?
second. Give me a second. Turn off the chat overlay for a second, guys. So over here, I am in skill trees, float fishing. These skills that we first used for regular float fishing, they get transferred here. We're using Bolognese rods. And Bolognese itself we actually unlock here at this level. That I think that was 30 or 35%.
That's I think it's yeah 35, but
Yeah, yeah.
really 35.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
35,
pretty
and
close.
match rods are even at 60% when they unlock. Why is it that match rods only unlock at 60%? Why not much earlier?
That you're gonna have to ask a game designer why he put it this way.
Yeah.
I'm sure he had a good reason to do that. Uh,
Yeah, because a lot of folks in Europe as well. I know in the States it's a bit different, obviously, fishing. But there it's like a fixed pole or a cane is what you use as a kid, and you already start practicing here in the Netherlands, by the way, as well. You start practicing with a spinning rod, and the moment that you can start casting properly, you get a match rod shoved into your hands. So why? Yeah, that is why a lot of players are wondering what on earth it makes us having to reach float fishing at 60% first before we can start using a match rod. So that was one of the worries.
oh, yeah, I can ask our game designer why he did that.
Okay. Now we'll get back to that in another Q&A then. There was a question that I had with the Bolognese rod. So now I finally got it. I'm all happy, and I am trying to cast that with a bloody thing. Even though I've got my points, I've got 1 point here in the Bolognese, actually at that one as well. And then I've got my points here for casting further and aiming better. You need to look at this. I'm aiming straight forward. Oh, well, for fuck's sake, now it does. Normally, when I aim, and I aim, say, to the left side, it ends up on the right side, completely not where I want it. Is that something that was off, or... Look,
Okay, let's take a look at your gear first. Hit V, please.
Yeah. So I've got the most cheap Bolognese rod. I had the Express Fishing Spark 3000S. That was the cheap reel. 8.5 pound test line. The Bolognese bobber. 12 hook. Not the Chinese version, but still a bit cheap. And the maggots.
Okay.
And it's not just me having these issues, it's other folks as well. And with different setups than I, is when we aim left, 9 times out of 10 it ends up to the right side. When you aim to the right side, it ends up to the left side. And it's not wind affected at that stage.
What do you mean? Of course it is.
Yeah, it
depends on your line, on your thickness of your line. Depends on what type of bobber you use, a float. If it ever depends on the wind.
Yeah. No, what I mean is that, for instance, if I'm aiming to the left side and the wind is blowing very hard from the right side, that will be the reason why I will end up to the right side. But now it's like when I've got no wind to the right side, blowing from left to right, and I'm casting left, it still ends up to the right side, or vice versa. That was the issue with it.
It's honestly, it's the first time I hear about it. I'll have my testers take a look at it.
Oh, all right. Frank, could you, when it happens again, because this also happens with match rods. I do not have a match rod, but Underwater Frank has. Frank, could you make a vid of it and let me know, buddy? Give me a link or something so I can send it to Gene. Catchy says, Bolo and the feeder have a right side bias. Could you explain that to me, Catchy? Because that I do not understand. Mark and Bo, I'll ask you questions in a minute. Alright, so Frank is indeed gonna make a vid. They do cast to the right most of the time. Okay, so according to Catchy, by the way, Jimmy Squatchcraft, he's my mentor when it comes to fishing. And that guy's got close to 50 years of real life fishing experience. He's saying that it has to do with both bolo and feeders that they tend to cast more to the right side. The way that they're
Yeah,
built.
I've written it down. I'll send my guys to test it to check it out. I'll see what they're gonna say.
Okay.
Because once again, for the past months, it's first time that I hear about it.
Yeah.
Like we never had anybody
Issues.
tell us that this is how it is.
Yeah. Sleepy, can you answer Tempe's question? Because that is something that we've covered a couple of times already. Slow down with the cues. No, Sleepy. No worries. I got the question. So, question from Mark. The servers are partially very laggy at the moment. He gets a lot of error messages, error timed out. Server kicks off and that kind of stuff. When do the servers get a restart? Or when did they had their last restart? And Bo asks, is there a support for the Xbox controller?
Mark, if you were talking about today's issues, actually it's not us, it's not our servers. There is a problem somewhere on a route between you and us. We've heard about it that in Europe today you guys having some problems, but there's absolutely nothing we can do. It's somewhere like in Sweden, something like that. Somewhere on the way between you and St. Petersburg. That's our service. So everybody to the east from Sweden, I don't remember which country. You should probably trace the game, and you'll see that I have actually. We looked into it today already.
All right. Yeah. And Bo asks about support for Xbox controller. Is there one already? Will there be one?
For Xbox?
Yeah, the controller.
We're not doing it yet. It might work, it might not. You might get some error messages, you might not. You can try using it. Will it be soon? No. Will it be at all? Probably.
Yeah. For those of you guys wondering if this game ever gets ported to, say, Xbox or PlayStation 4, at the moment it's just talk about it, and no final decisions on it yet. I think I worded that correctly, didn't I, Gene?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, not anywhere near soon. The reason is that Gene and his colleagues first want to get this game properly and get it done right for PC before even considering it moving to any type of console.
Absolutely. We really want you guys to enjoy it, first of all, and then try to take over the world.
Look out, guys, we've got an alien invasion coming up. Alright, let's see. Will we be able to catch something other than fish in the future? Like dead branches, get an old boot, get maybe some tangled line where perhaps a lost lure is dangling from that we can pick up, put into our inventory and use?
More or less. I can't tell you everything that will be introduced in the game, as you understand. But yeah, there will be other, how would you say it, interesting things for you to do.
Yeah.
To catch, to hunt for. I mean, hunt not with the rifle. You know.
No, but other stuff than fish indeed to go after.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. These are questions from Marv. He couldn't make it in the chat today. 'Cause he's got some issues. But will you
Don't
guys?
will.
Yeah, indeed. Could there be some tweaks to the game to make it better playable for those who are a bit visually impaired at the moment? So, for instance, bigger bobbers or show an indicator that there's actually a fish on, stuff like that.
Uh, bigger bobbers, yes. We know that actually players are having troubles with the bobbers the way it is right now. We'll work on them a little bit later on. We'll address that issue. In terms of indicator, I honestly don't think so. Once again, as I said last time, we're trying to avoid tons and tons and tons of stuff on the screen instead of just looking at the lake and river, nature. So the more if we'll start introducing more indicators or things like that, it's gonna get messy.
Yeah, yeah, I like to have a clean hut. But yeah, like you said, for bobbers, I hope Marv that will help you out already a bit, mate. If the bobbers
We'll,
get
we'll,
bigger.
yeah, we'll definitely address bobbers. Also, there's gonna be more stuff for feeder rods, not only the one, that bell that you have right now. Well, when you're spinning, I guess you can see it already. Once the fish hits, your indicator starts going up and down.
Yeah. Catchy asks, will we be able to pick up the fish off the ground?
No, it's a bug. The problem with that the server, whenever we're talking about when like a line breaks or a hook breaks, right, and you see the fish on the shore already, right? But you can't
I'm not
pick it up.
sure if he is referring to the line breaks. I think he's asking
That
just in general. Say, indeed, you got your fish on the
that's the
shore.
only time when you can't pick up the fish. You actually see it right now in the game.
Yeah.
Either hook broke off, either line broke off, and fish is just flopping around on the shore trying to get into the water.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a bug, and we have a hard time finding it because we can't repeat it. So basically, my testers can't make that happen.
Yeah.
So we collect data from our players. Every time somebody gets that bug, they sending us the bug reports. We're trying to figure out what's going on. But yes, it's a bug. The problem with this is as follows. You see that fish on your client, on your machine. But for the server, that fish broke off and swam away already.
Okay.
So technically there's nothing for you to pick up. So you can't pick it up.
Okay.
But we'll find it, we'll fix it.
Did that answer your question, Catchy? Let's see. Alright, Vino, see you later. Dave asks about the giveaway. Doesn't matter if we're not watching the stream when you do the raffle. Yes, Dave, I do prefer the folks to be here when I gift it away. Otherwise, it's bound that folks will just hop on to get a gift and then log off again. And got no interest whatsoever in the game itself. They're just here for grabbing the gifts. So yes, I do kindly ask you to stay if you want to indeed be around and have a chance at winning in the giveaways. Brandino asks, is there gonna be a kind of an apply or a submission for beta testing of the game?
We are in open beta testing. And we're not going to close it anymore.
And then some questions that I quickly see here. I see. Will there be deep sea fishing? Will there be saltwater fishing? Could you just share some light on what the future will entail? Already know you did it previous time, but it was also questions that I got sent in from folks.
Eventually, you'll be able to fish at almost every part of the world. I told you, we're here to take over the world. And I'm not joking, I'm serious.
Yeah.
We'll introduce everything.
Yeah. What is, if you can, spill the beans a bit on that one, what is one of the things that we can look forward to that is not currently in game?
New lake, pretty soon. Actually, I told you, we were supposed to release it last week, but we ran into a little problem that we had to fix before that. So very soon we introduce a new lake, the beer lake. There's going to be some new species, and there's introduction of a surprise,
A super prize.
which I'm not going to discuss. Surprise.
Oh, a surprise. Okay.
I don't know how super it is, but yeah.
Okay. I understood. Super prize. No, a surprise. All right. Is there any time set already on when you think the game will be released in full?
Not in the near future, because we didn't introduce. Well, basically, what you see right now is about, I don't know, 30-40% at most of what we have for you guys. We're not ready to introduce everything right away. I believe I explained that already once. It's we will be introducing content gradually.
Yeah.
To test it faster, better, to make sure we're not flooding, I don't know, 100,000 bugs onto players. We would rather, let's say, before we bring in auctions, then that's the only thing we'll bring in. And then we'll wait, we'll test, we'll see if everything works correctly, if there are no mistakes, no bugs, no fixes. If they are, we'll fix them, and then we'll introduce another part of the game. So what you see right now is, as I'm saying, it's not even close to half of the game, half of the content that we have. There's going to be tournaments, there's going to be teams, a whole bunch of stuff. And actually, most of it is already finished. It's just, once again, we really don't want to be flooded and flood you guys with a bunch of error messages and working on fixes for the next year.
Yeah. Did that satisfy your questions? Let's see who asked it. Big taxes. Let's see whoever asked the one about saltwater. Avoid strips. I'd rather refrain from asking to comparing this game to Fishing Planet. These are two separate games, buddy. I understand why folks like to compare the games. But I do not want to turn this stream and the Q&A into no Russian Fishing 4 is better, no Fishing Planet is better type of stream.
We were just different games. You can enjoy both of them if you want to. Well, why don't you? We have different philosophy, a little bit different, not a little bit, a lot in terms of gameplay. So it's pretty hard. Yeah, we are both fishing games, but it's pretty hard to compare us. It's not even a question of comparison. It's different.
Yeah, I understand why the question is being raised. It's no worries to avoid. It's not like I'm mad or something, mate. But a lot of folks that come from Fishing Planet are a bit disgruntled, and they come to Russian Fishing 4 and they're all hilarious about or not hilarious, that's the wrong wording. They're all very excited about Russian Fishing 4 and also at the same time start to complain about what they actually missed in Fishing Planet. So that is what I like to avoid. So that is why I'm saying no to that topic, mate. At least here now during the Q&A. When I'm streaming, just regular, feel free to hop in and just talk away, buddy. Yeah, indeed, apples and oranges, comparing those, indeed. Marx asks, we know this is open beta, but I'm interested in the actual beta. Is that still going on or is that shut off?
That is still going on, yes, because we're still working on some stuff that are not finished. It's still there. And it will probably be there for another like 3-4 months at least.
Mm-hmm.
And no, we will not be taking anybody on board there. I'm sorry, guys. That's one thing that we've learned throughout our very long experience making games, that anything that is not released will stay only in-house.
And Sleepy, thank you, mate, for posting that question again. I did miss that one. Will we be able to convert our accounts into a Steam account when this game will be available on Steam?
We're discussing it. We would really like to give you guys this option. So we'll try to do everything that we can to make sure you'll be able to transfer your accounts. I can't promise you that it will be done, but I can promise you that we'll do everything in our power to have it.
All right. Back again a bit to repairing and crafting combined. In the future, will players be able to switch hooks on existing gear or, say, handcrafted lures? And will we be able to repair our own gear in the repair shop?
To a point in terms of repairs, and yes, you'll be able to switch hooks and alter things.
All right. Big Texas asks, do the fish get tired? Yes, mate, they do. Yeah.
And they'll even get more tired with the next patch.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Well, some of them.
Yeah. Some of them will keep the stamina a bit up. I was curious. You mentioned to me that over the past week you guys did a couple of fixes to the game, and you shared some specifics to me, but they were not announced anywhere on Facebook or Twitter. Could you tell us a bit about what it is that you guys were working on in the past week?
Oh, tons of stuff. A lot. In a second, let me try to find it. The list.
You don't have to mention it all, but say for instance, I do know that you did some tweakings to the carp, for instance.
To the carp. That was the previous patch that was introduced like what, 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Oh, was that the previous one? Oh, my bad then.
Yeah. Carp, all carp species got a little more experience points and a little bit more money to them. Carp, I mean, like naked carp, mirror carp, common carp.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were a little bit out of balance. Let's say everybody went once again for that eel, right?
Yeah.
Eel or tench. So we tried to balance it out a little bit better. We do that every patch. Actually, we see we're looking at what works, how it works. We collect data, and based on that, we might tweak here and there. As a lot of people think that we like moving fish around or cutting their numbers. We don't do that. Never done it, and we'll never do it. There's no need for it. Yes, we might tweak their whatever they give you in terms of experience points or money-wise. Yes, but we don't touch the fish itself as in terms of moving it from one place to another. It moves on its own, migrates. That concept, we've been working on it for a very long time, and we like it. And actually, players who knows how to fish in real life, they understand that, and that's what we're trying to implement here. So we like that you have to go and find fish. You don't come to a certain spot every day, sit on it and catch all the time, same fish, same fish, same. Now you have to work to catch fish.
Yeah. I quickly need to. Oh, I missed that one. Try to manage two fish at the same time here. Jean's voice has an echo now. Can you fix it in the future? All right.
I'm actually sitting in my house downstairs in the basement. So yes, I might get some echoes and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I've noticed as well that my mic sometimes picks up the sound from my headset as well. So I'm listening to Jean through my headset. So it might be the case with that one as well. Maybe the combination of the two things, Gene being in his basement and me having the headset and listening to him through the headset. I'll make sure that during the next Q&A I'll put Gene over my speakers instead of the headset. Yes, Sleepy, thank you, mate. That was indeed also a question that I had over here on the list. In the future, will we be able to gift premium membership to in-game friends?
Me personally, I really like the idea, and I will be pushing it through. So I can't promise you, but yes, I really like it. I really like this option for one player to give somebody else as a present, premium.
Can we help in any way to push that? Because I myself, I would love, for instance, to purchase premium and gift it.
Once will come out in English and German, just start flooding forums and our social groups with that.
All right. Well, guys, you know what to do then once English hits. Let's see. The achievement system. I've had a look at it, and by golly, is it daunting. It's let me quickly grab it up. I simply am not looking forward to translating this myself completely, so I will patiently wait until this is translated by you guys in English and it's out in English. But the achievements, do they give us any rewards or increasement in experience? Or
not yet. It will be. You will be getting rewards for getting achievements, depending what type of achievement, what is it for, what did you do for it. It'll be there.
All right. And then that was a question, but I will answer that myself. Some folks have complained about they had set up an account and create another one, wanted to move over their bamboo rod or their starting telestick, and it arrived on the other account, but they couldn't play with it. The reason that is, guys, is simply the developers, they can't or they don't want folks to say start up 3 different accounts and then right up from the batch have everything sorted to just one account. and then have an advantage over the other players who just start with one account. So the reason why your bamboo is not working when you've gifted it, or your telestick is not working, is because of that. Let's see, that was a bug as well that I had to move forward to you. That is something that has already been addressed. In the future, will we be able to sell items that we've crafted ourselves?
Yes, of course.
Alright, and will that be through the auction house only, or is that...
It could be through auction houses, through exchanges, through... Actually, you can find somebody in a social group or on Facebook. An exchange with them. I mean, in game, but
yeah.
like right now with premium, let's say you have a premium, right? And you have a rod that you don't need. You can, let's say, post an ad and say, listen, I have this rod, I want 50 silver for it. I come to you in game, I say, then you basically right now what you can do, you can message me with this rod, right? And hope that I'll message you back with something else, right?
Yeah.
Well, right now, yeah, basically you can't move currencies in game yet, but you can trade. Let's say one rod for another rod. If you don't want the spinner rod, you can trade it for a bobber rod or something like that. But be careful, because there are already a lot of people who will take advantage of it and ask you not. Well, they'll make a deal with you, but they will not hold up the end of their bargain.
Okay.
They'll take a rod from you and won't send you whatever they promised.
That trading system, how does it work? You're referring to as if it already works, and I think that is this one, right? The one with the two arrows, one to the left, one to the right?
No, that isn't working yet.
Okay, that isn't working yet. Okay, good.
So basically, right now, what you can do is, like, no, this one isn't working yet. Right now, you can trade only through the bottom plus.
Yeah, and that's only when you're premium, guys.
Yeah, that's only when you're premium, and if you trust the person who you're trading with. Because once again, there are a lot of people who use that for their advantage and basically con you out of your stuff.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Let's see, those questions already asked. What type of competitions can we look forward to? And together with that, will we then be able to see our competitors?
Well, in terms of seeing competitors, we want to introduce that into the game, but we haven't designed how it's going to be, because what we see right now, we don't like it. We'll figure something out. We really want to introduce that. But it's going to take a little time.
Sorry for the interruption. Will that then, seeing other players, will that then only be for competitions or also outside of competitions? So I'm standing here, would I be able to see the guy who's standing next to me fishing or not?
Once again, lady, we haven't designed that system yet, so I can't honestly tell you how it's going to be. We tested a few things. We didn't like it once, how it looks, so we will have to come up with something different, something that nobody has yet, because we've looked at a couple of different other games where you can give it any multiplayer, right? We're not happy what we've been seeing, so I can't get into specifics because I don't know them. Nobody does at this moment.
Okay. And then competitions-wise, what type of competitions can we be looking forward to?
Oh, you'll definitely have, you'll be able to ask somebody for, let's say, let's call it a duel, right? One-on-one or two-on-two, three-on-three, team-on-team. There's going to be tournaments. There's going to be like individual tournaments where you just enlist in it. There's going to be tournaments, team tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Now a whole bunch of questions are flooding, so let me quickly scroll back up. Jimmy first, he asks, will it be retroactive, the awards on achievements for us that have already unlocked them, or would we have to start over once the game comes out?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, so currently we're now in beta version, we're achieving these achievements. Will we, once awards are being added to it, will we get those awards in hindsight? Or will we have to start all over again in completing the achievements and get the rewards for it?
As far as I understood the question, we're talking about the release of the game or release to something?
No.
To, let's say, Steam or something?
No, when the game gets released, if
Okay.
it's full release, then obviously all of us will already have some of the awards that are connected to the achievements. We'll already have some of the achievements unlocked. Or fulfilled or done, so to say.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll show you. I think that's better. So this one, the top one, need to wait a couple of seconds before it pops up on the screen, but it's the one with the big microphone. I've got that one unlocked. Say that currently there's no reward hanging to it, but say it would now reward you with, say, 5 silver. Would I, at the moment that the awards are being put into the game, will I still be receiving this 5 silver because I've already achieved the award? Already made the achievement, sorry? Or will I have to start over again and get the achievement completed once more?
Probably we'll have to wipe the achievements. Probably, I'm not saying for sure that's how it's gonna be. Maybe honestly, I don't know yet.
Okay.
How we're gonna do that.
Do that, yeah.
But before we'll introduce the prizes for achievements. We'll figure it out and we'll let people know how it's gonna happen.
Okay. On Tragan. On Tragan, mate, you're asking a question on behalf of Dennis.
Dennis can call me and ask me a question.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what you're trying to say there, Antragan. He says, Lady of Games, it's not right in some kind about ascended gear. This is from Dennis. Hallo, man moet eerst die montage aanbutton over rushis. And then can you use the gifted stuff. Oh, he's referring to if you gift the bamboo rod or if you gift the telestick to somebody else, that you can't use it straight up. You first need to hit a button that has, let me copy paste that quickly. Apparently that is what Dennis has set to him. Let's see, where's the chat. And then according to Dennis, you have to hit the button that says that. I've got no idea what that means in Russian. And then can you use it to gift stuff? Or to use it.
The word you sent me is change. I'm guessing that he's talking about... can you open any rod, please?
Yeah, sure.
You know where you choose how you use your rod, like jigging or Texas rig or this and that?
Yes, I just did a video about it today. It's on my YouTube channel now.
Yeah, so that's the button. That's the button.
So you have to change... this one then?
In many cases, basically, the rod comes to you without that selection of how you're using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one. So you can't put any line there or anything like that. But once you do that, just select the first one, right? Yeah, you'll be able to put stuff on it.
Ah, all right. So, okay. Yeah. Got it then. Cheers on Dragon. Thanks for clarifying that. So basically, just a short recap. When you want to gift your bamboo rod or your telestick to someone and you send it to them, first what they need to do is they need to open this, then they need to click what type of rig they want to put on it, then they have to click the side which rig it will be, and then they have to press the OK button, and then it will do its thing, and then will you able to
I'm
use
not
it.
sure it's gonna work for the starter rods. At least it shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, let me ask my guys to test it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it shouldn't work with bamboo and starting rod.
Yeah.
The one that you start the game with.
Yeah. Catchy, I cannot answer that question for you. Currently there is no feature to change the unit of measurement from metric to the imperial system, but they are considering it for the future to add the imperial system as well. Let's see, there were other questions as well.
I live in US and I hate imperial system.
No, I don't hate it, but I still can't wrap my head around ounces. Ounces for me, that is a whole different world. I don't mind pounds and miles and stuff like that, but ounces, I'm a goner.
Yeah. And inches whenever you build stuff, because you had to be born here first.
Yeah. Let's see, Brandino. If there is there a way, if you walk in the water, you spawn back to the spot where you were standing at? Because at the moment, if you spawn back, you spawn actually at the spawn point of the village in the center, and then you've got to run all the way back to where you were. So would it be possible to spawn at the place that you're standing?
Actually, there was a bug right before we were releasing open beta, and this is like a plug. There are some spots in the water where you would get in and drown, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of drowning, right now you're being teleported to the base. Once that will be fixed, nothing's gonna happen. So you're not gonna be able to drown, and there would be no need for teleporting you from there.
All right. Boo, if you lost your map for the first time, is there a way to get it back instead of just repurchasing it?
What do you mean you lost the map?
I think he clicked the wrong button. He clicked the discard button. It has happened to me too. So, for instance, in inventory, when we go to maps,
okay.
and you think that you'll actually be opening it when you're hitting this button. You're not, you're discarding it. So he likes to know. You're not the first that made a mistake, bro. I made it too. I know others did as well. You actually need to press M.
Yeah, you'll have to purchase the new one, and I remember, I think I said that last time, that this button to delete, discard, throw away, will move somewhere else.
Yeah, once the English version hits, guys, so we won't make that mistake again.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hey there, Medic. How's the stream, buddy? Medic, we covered that question, but yeah, we can do it again. Is there a way to reset the skill points that we use for the skill?
It will be there will be a way. Yes, we will introduce it, and we'll try to do it as soon as possible.
Yeah. Is there a pricing attached to it?
Definitely, it's not going to be for free. We'll see how well, I'll try to make my guys understand that for the first time, we'll probably give it a one-time use, free use. But yes, eventually you'll have to pay for it one way or the other.
A shield asks, does tackle get damaged when you walk around the lake and fight a fish? Yes, a shield, it does. Even when you're not fighting a fish and you just walk around, if you rot out, it will get damaged a bit.
Yeah, try taking a rod and go to the woods and run with it. I mean, in real life.
Yeah, you would not want to do that.
See what's gonna happen to it.
Take your rot into a bus.
Get a cheap rod, please.
Yeah, I'm depending on public transportation. It can be hell sometimes, in particular when the train is stuffed with folks. Then you definitely need a rot bag to keep your rot safe. Otherwise, they'll crush in an instant. All right, Ketchy. Is there a spot on the first lake or on the tutorial map that you can purchase a map of?
I don't think so.
Is there then a way to get that map if you by accident deleted it?
I think on in a store at the how did you translate the second map?
Mosquito Lake.
Mosquito, yes, in administration building. Not the store, not the there's not the technical store, not the product store. There's administration building, the one with the ATM in it.
Yeah, that one only sells the one of Mosquito. That one does not sell the one of what is it? Old Home, Old Pond, something like that. It doesn't sell the one of the tutorial lake.
Okay, then maybe next map, next lake. There's let me check. I don't remember which. One of the bases has like tons of maps.
All right, because on Mosquito I only noticed the one of Mosquito, and on Coiling River or Serpentine River I only noticed the one over there, and Old Jill only has Old Jill. Old Fort, sorry. Sorry, need to wrap my head around that one.
It takes a little time for me to move between water bodies. Okay, Mosquito. What's going on? Nothing is working for me today. Okay, this has one map. Next one. Okay. Coil River, right? Is that how you call it?
Yeah, Coiling River. Yeah.
Coiling.
Yeah, the movement of a snake. That's either serpentine, or coiling. For me, it's easier to say Coiling River. Yes, Brandina, I completely understand what you mean. It's not bamboo poles, though. A winding river is what Ketchy says.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, this is Yonok. What else can I get?
Nope. Opening something else there. No, there's nothing on this one, but we have something big on the other one, so I'm gonna set that one down.
Yeah, lady, you can ask away for now until I'm looking for that map.
All right. Brandina was wondering if will there be any fixed poles with elasticity in the top? So, for instance, in the Netherlands, we got these big ass rods that they're actually they consist of like 5 to 7 pieces, and you put them over the top one each other, and then in the tip it has instead of just line, it has elastic in it, and it actually comes out when a fish hooks itself, so that excuse me, not the entire rod will immediately get the entire amount of stress on it, because the elastic cord, so to say, will first take away some of the stress of it. Will we get a fishing pole like that in game as well?
Yeah, I'm sure with time. Absolutely, we'll try to get every possible fishing option into the game that known to people, excluding dynamite, of course, and nuts. A illegal way to fish.
Yeah, because here, for instance, in the Netherlands, it's already illegal to fish with live bait. But yeah.
We actually have a couple of states here that you can't use live bait.
Yeah, that's correct. It's like really thin. Here in the Netherlands, at the sea, you can definitely use live bait, but on the rivers, you're forbidden to use any type of live bait. You can only use depth bait.
Yeah, it's because usually what you use as a live bait is an invasive species that can reproduce extremely fast in well, rivers not that fast, but let's say a lake. They just can completely change everything about that lake, all the habitat.
Marv, could you please elaborate a bit on that question, because I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Let's see. Will there be a tutorial about different retrieval types? Because currently we're quite left in the dark as to what type of retrievals methods there are. This is for spin fishing, obviously. And we just seem to have to find it out on our own. And if you've got no fishing experience whatsoever, that is definitely going to be a huge struggle.
There will be. There is actually a text form on our website, but it's in Russian. There's like everything about the game.
Yeah.
So it will be translated into English and German. So you'll be able to get some info from there. And what works right now, let's say for Russian players, more experienced players, they share a lot, and we give them a lot of places where to share their experience, where to ask questions each other. Like let's say for a Russian game, we have a forum. They have their own topics where they can share and talk over things. We have like 3 or 4 different groups in social media. Well, Facebook doesn't work that well in Russia, but VK, OK, Mail.ru. We have groups there. People are discussing everything they learn about the game. They share their experience. They make tons and tons and tons of videos.
Yeah.
So that's how basically a word just spreads around. People teach other people, and just that's how it works. We're not gonna do any like video tutorials if that's the question.
No, it was more just like, for instance, the tutorial that you're doing at first at the starter lake, where you just cast out and you set it to a certain depth.
No, we're not gonna do that.
Okay.
You actually have to, how would I say it? Learn. Like you do in real life. You learn.
Yeah.
Or you have somebody next to you who's teaching you. Right? You don't come up to a lake or a river and there's a guy pops up and, hey, dude.
Yeah.
Jig your rod. What do you mean jig? What's jig? How do I jig?
But would it be,
bring your friend.
thinking off the top of my head now, would it be an option then to say have something like a quest giver, in particular for spin fishing, that will give you a first basic quest, sort of say, that lets you do, say, a straight retrieval and then lets you do a stop and go retrieval, other than relying on outside sources of the game?
It's going to be a really problematic to do, because all those retrievals, to achieve them, it also depends a lot on the tackle that you're using. Let's say stop and go retrieve with a reel with a 6-to-1 ratio is going to be different than to reel with 4-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you that you have to press left mouse button for a second and then let it go for a second. No, for each reel, lure type, lure weight, it's going to be different, and you have to find it on your own.
Okay. Good. Well, that is actually good news for folks like me, because then we can make more YouTube videos. Yeah. But I do get why folks were a bit worried about it. Yeah, like I said, in particular those who've never fished in real life, and if they also have never played another fishing game in real life, they'll definitely have a struggle at first. When trying to learn that.
I'm one of the developers, and I'm having trouble right now. I switched reels from. That's how I gave you the example just now. I was fishing with 6-to-1 ratio reel, and I was fishing with a jig step.
Yeah.
Retrieve. I switched to 4-to-1 ratio. I can't find it for second day. I can't get the damn retrieve. It pops up here and there, but I can't keep it.
Yeah. All right. Marv is wondering, when the game gets released, does everything of the accounts that we currently have get transferred to the accounts on the full game, or will it all be wiped? Oh, no.
No, we promised our players right away that we're not going to wipe accounts.
Okay. Good. Hey Tony, welcome to the stream, buddy. Let's see. Yeah, in the future you can get spooled, guys. At the moment you can actually not get spooled, unless you guys did change that gene. I'm not sure about that. I thought.
Sorry, once again, please.
If you could get spooled already in game, like a fish taking all your line and running off.
On some lines you can, on some lines you can't. We have to fix that.
Oh,
There's some lines that do end at some point and just break off.
Yeah.
One fish runs with it, and some lines don't.
All right. Ader, Desperator. Let's see. Does every lake have a monster fish? So, for instance, like in real life, use
the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah, Loch Ness and the Nessie.
No, we don't have that. We have a pretty big those trophies, not the regular trophies that you catch, but they're like bigger trophies. For every water body. Yes, there are some. But that's about it.
Yeah. Okay.
We try to avoid it.
Yeah. So unfortunately, guys, no big monster pike in that typical lake or stuff like that. At least not one named. Not one named. Are there any plans to add any sort of voice chat service in game?
To add what?
Voice chat.
Voice chat. I don't think there is a need in it. At least, listen, there are TeamSpeak, there's Raid Call, there are a whole bunch of Skype that you can chat with whoever you want.
Okay. Ashil, could you then please ask the question again, because then I missed it. For those of you guys who just joined, welcome. Feel free to post any questions in chat, but do make sure that you tag me in it. Otherwise, it will be very hard for me to keep up and see what's been asked and what not. For instance, now Looney is also spamming her stuff about the giveaway. It's truly hard then for me to see who said what. I know Sleepy is trying to address questions that I've missed, but please put in first at Lady of Games and then ask your question. Mark85, is there a chance in the future to repair or restore a broken rod, as an example, say with tape or carbon fiber, so we can repair it fully, or maybe only halfway, but at least get rid of the broken rod in a useful manner?
In the future, if the rod is broken, you'll be able to take off some parts of it for repair, for repairs for other rods.
Okay, good. Cheers, Sleepy. She'll ask, he's purchased 165 meters capacity reel, and he purchased a 300 meter spool of line, but the reel shows that it took all the line. Is that a bug, or?
It's not a bug. We would probably call it, how do I translate it? It's just a gamey thing, you know. You buy a reel, I mean, you buy a line, you use it on a reel. At least that's how we look at it right now.
Okay, so it doesn't matter then if it's like what a shield did. Put 300 meter of line on a 165 meter capacity reel. You can.
The thing is with this line, you should probably buy it for a bigger type of reel. Let's say like for 6,000, 8,000 reels. That has a bigger capacity.
Yeah.
Bigger spool. So yeah, then you're not gonna lose anything.
Okay. Let's see, guys. I think I've answered most of the questions that I had, one way or the other. Because some things that Gene Allen himself also said. If you guys got any questions left, feel free. There was one thing, a little bug that we came across. So I am playing in full mode, not windowed mode. I've got two screens. Whenever I'm alt tapping, my cursor actually will go out. And when I'm alt tapping back to the game, the cursor will remain out of the game. Might need to look at that. So for instance, you can see my cursor now. Here it's circling around my pole. When I will move it to the right side, there's my second screen, it now will also appear on the right side instead of just staying in game. And for instance, if I want to do a strike or I want to lift up something and I'm actually with my cursor on my second screen and standing on the button, it will actually also activate whatever that button is.
I think you just you need to alt tab one more time to get back to the game.
No, it will stay that way. It doesn't matter if
Really?
I alt tab back to the game. It will stay. It will not stay in the game. It will just move out. It's just when I've not alt tapped at all will it stay in the game. But the moment I alt tap once, it will get out of the game.
And if you keep alt tabbing.
If I keep alt tabbing, I will go back to the game, but my mouse, when I move it to the left screen where I've got the game, it will show up in there, but if I move it to the right side, it will actually move it to the right side.
Oh, I see. Actually, I've repeated that. That's fun. This is fun. Alright, I'll tell my guys I've never seen that before.
Okay, yeah.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, Bo wonders if you found out where to purchase the map for the tutorial lake.
No, I haven't. Do we have no, I know they are in stores, but probably they just wasn't brought in, let's say, last time. Do we have anybody who's watching us at the last river, the big one, the one that starts with the 20th level? Could you guys check the store there? Not the store, the administration building for maps.
So if anyone is at the level 20 lake, could one of you please
Yeah.
check out the administration building and see if there is 2 or more maps available instead of just one map. Let's see.
Just have to check the administration buildings from time to time for them.
Yeah, yeah. Melo wonders, is there currently an English version for Russian Fishing 3 available?
No, we're not gonna make an English version for Russian Fishing 3. The game is way too old for that.
Ashil wonders, when he hooks into a fish that they over the lake. When I hook some fish, they go over the lake boundary. I think that is what you mean, and then the line goes onto the land, and he gets spooled. Could that be fixed?
I'm trying to understand. So basically, what he says.
So, for instance, I'm currently fishing here.
Okay.
If the fish would go, say, past the small island or cross it, so there's land between it, I get spooled. That is what he says, and he loses the fish. Is there a way to avoid it? So if there's any breakage of land...
What do you mean by spooled?
Spooled means losing all of your line, snapping it off the reel. That is meaning spooled. Reaching the end of your line and then...
Oh, so you're basically out of line, yes, and it breaks off, no?
Yeah, but it happens when he's casting over land. So let's pretend this is a slide of land. I've got a fish on, it moves behind this slide of land and my line will actually break.
I guess I'm gonna have to see that actually to understand. Is there any chance that he can like make a video and send it to us?
Ashil, that you got that, mate? Yeah, guys, thanks for the help on dealing with my mouse. Let's see. Alright, Tony, will do, mate. And welcome to the stream. I'm not sure if I said it already. Oh yeah, that is a good one. That's a good one indeed, Jugster. How is the percentage of skill gain determined when you catch a fish? For example, when you catch a 1 kilogram carp, it won't give you as much as skill increase rates, but when he gets like 79 gram of carp, all of a sudden you do get a 0.2% increase. How is that determined?
That's because you're already probably pretty high up on your skill, and if you keep on fishing for smaller fish, smaller species, you will not be getting percentages that often.
Yeah, but
So yeah, you can skip 1 kilogram carp and not get anything, but let's say next fish you catch, you'll get some. You just have to move up with your skill. Your skill gets better, so you should try to go after like heavier fish or rarer fish, stuff like that.
No, that was the thing that I had yesterday with Catchy. So we were both fishing chops, and he was actually getting no skill increase when he hooked a chop of, what was it, 600 plus grams. He would get no skill increase when he would hook a chop, say 200 grams, but every time he hooked a chop that was like 500 grams, then he would get the skill increase. So it wasn't weight not true like only the big chop give you the percentage. It was actually a very specific range that would give him that. That had us confused.
Yeah, once again, that means he's already catching fish that gives him less percent of getting the percentage into his skill. So basically, 1 out of 5 fishes would get him a addition to his skill points. Then he's gonna move further down. He's gonna be getting 1 out of 10 fish if he's gonna keep fishing the same place. So he'll need to keep on getting skill points. You'll need to move to another level of other fish. Let's say you were fishing for what, chubs, right?
Yeah, we were fishing chubs.
Okay, let me see how you translate жерех in English. Just a second. Okay. There we go. Asp, right? Yes, asp.
Yeah.
Start fishing for asp. Asp will give you more chance of getting skill points. So let's say you stop getting skill points on every fish from chub, start fishing for bigger fish, different species, and that species will start giving you points for every fish at start. Then once again, it's gonna get down. So game actually makes you want to progress to different water body to catch different fish. That's the idea behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, the giveaway will be after the Q&A. Once we finish the questions. Unless Gene says, well, enough is enough now, because we are already on for an hour and a half. And you must be in the chat if you're picked as a winner. If you're not, then we'll pick someone who is.
I thought I said that already like 20 minutes ago, no? I thought they were just like ignoring me and stuff.
No. Yeah. All right. I've got no more questions, folks. I've got no more questions. I'm not sure if any one of you has. Let's scroll up. Ashil, after the stream, buddy, can you contact me through a whisper, and then we'll sort it out. I'll try to mimic what happened to you. It was at 32:31. All right, guys. Is there anything else, Gene, that you yourself would like to add?
I don't know. I don't think so. I have a lot of things to add, but I can't.
You can't talk about it. No. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
Is there anything in the chat?
Yeah, there are a couple of more questions, guys. I'm going to limit it to 3 more questions. So Tempe asks, Gene, why are the experience if you catch a fish with the bottom fishing more or less than with the float fishing? Why is there such a big difference?
Because bottom fishing mean feeder fishing, I guess, in this instance, right?
Yeah, feeder fishing, why is there such a big difference compared to float fishing?
Okay, float fishing gives you more experience, but you can't make more money. If you're going after the money, you fish with the feeders if you want to build up your silver. But you can't do both on the same tackle. Each tackle gives you some sort of bonus. So let's say floating tackle gives you bonus to experience, and feeder fishing gives you bonus to to silver, accumulating silver. And spinning is just fun.
Oh,
It's a hobby.
you're
It's very expensive hobby.
I can tell you right now, Gene, your American playbase will not like that. Those guys are spinning all over the place, going after bears and whatnot. They'll not be happy learning that. Oh, spinning's just for fun. It's expensive.
It is expensive hobby.
Yeah, it is. It is. It was definitely is.
If my wife knew how much my reels cost, whew, I'd be buying her shoes and bags every other day.
That does link me to another question. Will you obviously some fishing is the same between Europe and America, but a lot of the fishing is actually quite different. Will you actually take that into account as well as you start adding, say, American lakes? Say, for instance, spinning. That is obviously one of the main things that they do in America, and they're not messing around with bolo rods and stuff like that. I think that's bloody stupid. So maybe in the future, will they see a bit more fishing that fits their style?
I think that once we'll start adding, let's say as an example, U.S. lakes and rivers, there's a different fish base here
Yeah.
than in Europe and Russia. So based on that, they'll be able to catch more fish using spinning, like all those crappie, sandfish, whatnot, or bass.
Yeah.
There's like 20 different basses here. So I think it's just gonna level itself out.
Okay. Okay.
Like we don't have those Crucian carp here, the silver and gold ones. We don't have bream
Yeah.
in US.
Yeah, but
So
you do have
that's why
bluegills, for instance, and alligator gar, which is
it's closer to Florida,
yeah.
Arizona, Florida to the south. Everything from let's say central and you go north, there bass, pike, pickerel, muskies, tons of different sunfish, panfish. What else is here? Trout, lots and lots of trout.
Yeah. Yeah, and then more further up north, lots of salmon as well. Different types of it. Dolly Varden. What else do you got? Yeah.
Also depends if you're on east or west, what kind of salmon.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Quickly, let me have a look. Catchy note, there will not be a silver to gold exchange instead of just the gold to silver. That we, I think that's what you said last time, right, Gene?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Cat Weasel, note mate, there will not be a boss fishing game. Joxer, since it rains so much on Lake Mosquito, are there any thoughts of adding in fluctuating lake levels?
Fluctuating what?
Lake levels, water levels. So when you've got a lot of rain pouring in, the water rises up, and when it's sunny for a very long time, it dries out.
So you basically want to you want us to create another problem for you to fish?
Yeah, we could have floodings and stuff like that.
I think we have a pretty long list of interesting things that we'll be adding in the future before we start like knocking you people off the shore. That's for fun.
Okay. Okay, guys, that was the final question. I'm going to end it here and give Gene some rest. Gene, I'd like to thank you so much, mate, for coming by once again and for answering all those questions that were fired at you. I hope you still got some energy left.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
All right. Okay, guys, we are going to do the giveaways. Let me quickly retrieve my rods for a second. because I know you guys are dying to see what it is. And do not forget to thank Gene for it, folks, because he was the one that made it possible. And I will make sure to have a word with Gene after the stream or at some later time to hopefully come to agreement of doing another Q&A in the future. Would that be alright with you, Gene?
Absolutely, of course.
Awesome.
Of course.
Alright, this seems to be stuck.
Okay, Sleepy, at that time, lady was sitting at a spot where there was a lot of bleak, and bleak bites at minimum depth. That's why I told her to put minimum to go after bleak. Bleak gives a lot of experience. So it's not, depth doesn't maximize your experience. It's just a fish that was there at the time that would give her more experience compared to whatever she was fishing at that time.
Yeah. Let me...
Alright guys, thank you for having me, and I'm gonna bounce if you don't need me.
No, it's alright. It's alright.
Right, and we'll talk later on.
Yeah, I'll definitely do. Thank you so much, mate. Gene, I will send you a message in private because there's someone I think that needs to have a little conversation with you, mate, if you don't mind it.
Of course.
I'll send it to you in a Skype message in a short notice.
Alright, awesome.
Thank you.
Alright, talk to you later.
See you
Bye
later.
guys.
Bye-bye.